Here's a natural way to address swollen legs that I bet you haven't heard of. Water pills? They do a great job of flushing out the water in your blood vessels. But what's backing up in your legs and feet isn't water, and it isn't in your blood vessels. What about massage? Massage feels great, and it can help your legs for a little while. The problem is, you could massage your legs and feet all day, but it still won't fix the real reason for your swollen legs. Compression garments? In my opinion, you either love them or you hate them. Many of my patients tell me they dig into their skin, are hard to get on and off, and they cost a fortune. The fact is, there's a simpler way to fix your swollen legs and feet. I'll show you exactly how to do it, at home, in less than 60 seconds. But first, I should introduce myself. Hi, my name is Dr. Ian Tulberg. I've been a practicing physician for the past 20 years. I've worked as a primary care doctor for the US Army, and for the last 14 years, I've specialized in urgent care medicine here in Colorado. I'm also a former track athlete and pole vaulting champion. But my real passion is helping people to take control of their health without relying on expensive drugs, endless appointments, or band-aid fixes that don't work. Over the years, I've helped thousands of people address one of the most misunderstood systems in the entire body. Most doctors ignore it. But as you'll see in the next few minutes, it holds the key to reversing swelling, regaining mobility, and getting your life back. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how it works. And I'll show you how a simple 30-second daily habit can help restore your lymphatic flow, break down hidden buildup, and finally relieve the swelling in your legs and feet for good. But to do that, you first need to understand how your lymphatic system works. You see, running through your entire body are tiny tubes. They're called lymph vessels, and they're a lot like your blood vessels, but smaller. However, instead of carrying blood throughout your body, like your blood vessels do, your lymph vessels carry lymph fluid. Now, lymph fluid is basically the sewer water of your body. Because it's full of toxins, bacteria, and cell waste your body needs to get rid of. Now you might think lymph fluid flows through your lymphatic system like water in a pipe, but just like your heart beats to move blood, and your intestines contract to move food, your lymph vessels contract rhythmically to move fluid. And they do it thanks to what experts call lymph muscles. These little-known muscles squeeze and push that sewer water straight to your lymph nodes. Then your lymph nodes filter out all the gunk. You probably know about the lymph nodes in your neck, under your arms, and in your groin. But you also have another 800 scattered throughout your entire body. That just goes to show you how important they are. Because they, and your lymph muscles, are what help your body get rid of all that sewer water. When everything is working the way it should, all that lymph fluid gets flushed right out of your body. Your legs and feet stay trim and slim without cramming your feet into compression socks, swallowing water pills, or hiding in baggy pants. You feel strong, healthy, and ready to do all the things you love. However, when your lymph system is clogged up, fluid pools in your tissues, your legs and feet swell up like balloons, and your skin becomes hard, rough, and painful. For years, scientists tried to work out why lymph muscles suddenly lose their pumping power. Then in 2024, a study came out that proved what many researchers suspected all along. It turns out the real culprit behind weak lymph muscles is biofilm. Researchers have known for years that biofilm is caused by bad bacteria in your body. These health hijackers steal into your lymph system and stick to your lymph vessels like glue. Then they poop out a thick, sticky layer of slime or biofilm. This biofilm coats the inside of your lymph vessels like concrete, clogs your lymph nodes, and attacks your lymph muscles, weakening them so they can't contract and push fluid out of your body anymore. When that happens, all that nasty sewer water backs up in your legs, just like a clogged drain. Worst of all, biofilm is hard to get rid of. The layers of slime hide all the bacteria from your white blood cells, and if your body can't see them, it can't destroy them. Plus, it's so thick and sludgy, even powerful drugs can't penetrate it. That's not all though, because if you don't destroy biofilm right away, it gets thicker and stronger. Every day it pumps out more poison, destroying your lymphatic system cell by cell. Now all that is pretty bad, but what most people don't know is that a clogged lymph system doesn't just swell up your legs and feet. It can affect your entire body. Remember, your lymph system is spread throughout your entire body. So if that filthy lymph fluid has nowhere to go, what do you think happens? Yep, you guessed right. It goes straight back into your body. Ever had your toilet back up? Well, this is a lot like that. but way worse, because your body fills up with toxins, bacteria, and cell waste. Just like a toilet bowl full to the brim with, well, you get the idea. As you can imagine, all those toxins wreak havoc on your body and your health. Many of my patients are shocked to learn their clogged lymph system may be the real reason for their brain fog, joint pain, chronic fatigue, or stubborn belly fat. So now you see what's really happening inside your body. Do you see now why elevating your legs, wearing compression bandages, or taking water pills won't actually fix the problem? Because none of them tackle the real issue: biofilm. Sometimes these so-called solutions can make things even worse. Take water pills, for example. They throw your electrolytes out of balance, causing muscle weakness, cramps, even irregular heartbeat. They can even cause seizures. They can also drop your blood pressure dangerously low, increasing your chance of a fall, especially if you're older. And worst of all, long-term use of water pills can double your risk of kidney damage. Let me tell you, when I realized how many people are suffering needlessly just because some boy wonder in a fancy high-rise wants to buy another vacation home, I was fit to be tied. But here's the good news. If biofilm can coat your lymph vessels like concrete, clog your lymph nodes, and weaken your lymph muscles so they can't pump fluid out anymore, then the opposite is also true. You can break down that biofilm barrier, clear out your clogged lymph vessels, and strengthen your lymph muscles so they pump powerfully again. Once you do, you could see a dramatic improvement in your health. You could put an end to painful swelling in your legs, feet, and ankles, ease that tight, heavy feeling, get relief from tender, sensitive skin, fight skin ulcers, improve redness and discoloration, and feel truly healthy again. That means you could have more energy, better mobility, and more freedom than you've had in years. That's where the Goldilocks effect comes in. You see, once I understood how central the lymph system is to your health, and how modern life is constantly clogging it, everything changed. I realized almost no one is addressing the real root cause of swollen legs, fatigue, and that heavy waterlogged feeling. Lymph vessels trapped in sticky biofilm, unable to drain away waste. I became obsessed with helping this system flow freely again, not with drugs or compression bandages, but with natural activators. And that's when I stumbled onto something incredible, a set of colonial-era records, buried in missionary archives. Inside were notes from indigenous healers, describing how a strange, spiky fruit was used not only to calm inflammation and heal wounds, but also to relieve edema. European authorities at the time dismissed this as witchcraft. In some colonies, healers were fined, jailed, or even driven out of their villages for using it. Much of this wisdom was nearly erased. The more I heard, the more amazed I became. Could these healers really have discovered something that powerful centuries ago? I knew I had to find out if modern science could back them up. That's why I had my team dig into every single journal, article, and study we could find about edema. And right before we were ready to give up, we hit gold. We found a natural compound that can slice through biofilm like a hot knife through butter. And the proof is overwhelming. Take a look at this study from the Journal of Applied Microbiology. Scientists tested it on some of the toughest biofilm they could find, and the results were shocking. In just 2 hours, this compound dissolved over 85% of the biofilm. When I saw how well it worked, I knew it was exactly what we needed. I'd watched my patients struggle for years. Here was something that could finally help my patients feel like themselves again. Now you're probably wondering, what exactly is this mysterious compound? Believe it or not, it actually comes from pineapple. It's called bromelain, and it's a powerful enzyme found naturally in pineapple. But here's where it gets even better. Bromelain doesn't just break down biofilm in your lymph vessels. It clears out the bacterial sludge clogging your lymph nodes, and it helps restore your weakened lymph muscles back to full strength. Most people don't realize this, but when biofilm breaks down, it releases a flood of toxins. This is biofilm's last chance to destroy your lymph system. But bromelain fights these toxins, all while destroying biofilm throughout your entire lymphatic network. And the science is clear. Studies show bromelain can speed lymphatic drainage by an astonishing 50%. This means your lymph vessels can finally drain, your lymph nodes can filter properly again, and your lymph muscles can pump with the strength they had years ago. Now, bromelain is powerful at clearing out biofilm and sludge, but it can't address everything. My next edema buster is a natural compound called coumarin. It's been used by herbalists for thousands of years, and modern research shows why. In a gold standard double-blind trial published in the New England Journal of Medicine, patients with edema took either a placebo or coumarin. The placebo group stayed the same or got worse, but those who took coumarin saw swelling in their legs drop by 33%. Surprisingly, the worse their edema, the faster they improved. Even better, coumarin helped relieve the tight, hard, heavy feeling in their legs too. It also helps boost the circulation in your blood vessels too, which means it could help put an end to cold feet and get rid of that uncomfortable pins and needle sensation. Now personally, my favorite source of coumarin is lemon peel. It's one of the easiest, most inexpensive ways to support your lymph system and your immune system at the same time. But even with coumarin helping circulation and lymph flow, there's still a problem, because years of biofilm damage leave your lymph muscle cells weak and worn down. Even after the biofilm is gone, those muscle cells need to be rebuilt and strengthened. That's where my next edema buster comes in. It's called rutin, and it's found in citrus peels, buckwheat, and apples. Rutin is what scientists call a vascular protector. It makes your lymph vessels stronger, and it shields your muscles from the damage stress, toxins, and aging can cause. Rutin also works deep inside your body to repair those damaged lymph muscle cells, so they can start pumping powerfully again. And here's proof. Scientists tested rutin on people with circulation problems like edema. After 8 weeks, leg swelling went down by an astounding 41%. Even better, scans showed their blood vessel walls had gotten stronger and healthier. That means rutin isn't just protecting your vessels, it's helping revitalize them from inside out, which is exactly what your weakened lymph muscles need. And there's more. Rutin also revives the tiny valves in your lymph vessels. These valves are supposed to keep fluid flowing out of your body. When they're broken, fluid flows backward and pools in your legs and feet. Rutin supports the cells that form your lymphatic valves, so fluid finally drains out the way it should. But here's the thing, even with revitalized vessels and valves, your body is still drowning in years of toxic fluid. And it's the job for this edema buster, a worthless weed that most gardeners destroy without a second thought. But European herbalists have guarded this secret for centuries. It's called cleavers, and when it comes to moving stagnant lymph fluid, nothing else comes close. Cleavers is what scientists call a lymphatic stimulant, but I call it nature's power flush. It jolts your sluggish lymph system back to life, liquefies thick, sticky lymph fluid so it flows like water again, and supercharges your lymph nodes so they can filter out years of accumulated waste. Herbalists have relied on cleavers for centuries to help the lymph system flush out waste and reduce puffiness fast. That means you could start feeling relief from swelling and heaviness faster than you ever thought possible. Now, before I show my next edema buster, there's something you should know. For years, doctors have been preaching about the dangers of salt. However, study after study proves it's not the amount of sodium you need to worry about. It's the ratio of sodium to another important mineral in your body, potassium. Now, potassium and sodium aren't just minerals. They're electrolytes too, and when it comes to staying hydrated, they're critical. If you have kids, you might remember your doctor asking you to make sure they stay hydrated when they get sick, and he might have suggested giving them an electrolyte drink. They won't let me say the name, but it rhymes with Medialyte. Athletes are into electrolyte drinks for the same reason, and it's because electrolytes help maintain the balance of fluid in your body. Now, obviously, if you're suffering from edema, then there's a problem with that, right? So here's the truth. And in my opinion, this is just another example of mainstream willingness to throw your health under the bus. When you take water pills, they drastically affect the balance of fluid in your body. By making you pee more, they're washing out essential electrolytes like potassium and magnesium. And your body must have these electrolytes in order to move fluid in and out of your cells. When you're low on potassium and magnesium, it can make your edema even worse. It can also cause irreparable damage to your kidneys. Now, most people don't get enough of these in their diet. For example, you need about 5 grams of potassium per day. You'd have to eat about 12 bananas just to come close to that number. I don't recommend doing that, by the way. It might have some very unpleasant consequences. However, there is one food that's packed with both potassium and magnesium, and that's my next edema buster. It's called kelp, and 1 cup contains a whopping amount of both potassium and magnesium. Magnesium helps control the amount of fluid in your body and can help stop swelling. especially in your legs and feet. It also strengthens your muscles and nerves, which keeps your blood flowing properly. That makes it a great way to add a natural source of magnesium to your diet. Now, there's one thing you should know. If you're eating a lot of processed foods, then that means you're also getting high amounts of sodium too. Frankly, even if you're eating a sodium-free diet, but you're low on potassium, it's still a problem. Remember I mentioned the Goldilocks effect earlier? When you're dealing with edema, maintaining the right balance of fluid in your lymph vessels is absolutely essential. You don't want too much, because obviously that leads to swelling. But you don't want too little either, because then you won't have enough to wash away all the toxins and bacteria that are floating around in your body. That's not all though. Not having enough electrolytes is actually life-threatening. It can lead to muscle weakness, heart problems, and even paralysis. Again, when it comes to sodium and potassium, you need the right amount of both. Potassium works together with sodium to create the perfect balance of fluids in your body. You have to address that imbalance to improve your edema and avoid more serious health issues. Now, there's one more compelling reason for adding kelp to your diet, and it has to do with your cholesterol. That may seem like out of left field, but hang in there with me for a minute. Scientists ran a surprising study with mice. These weren't regular mice. They were specially bred to have high cholesterol. When they ran a blood test on the mice, they were surprised to notice one thing, and this was completely unexpected. The mice with high cholesterol levels also had damage to their lymphatic systems. In fact, the higher their levels were, the more edema they had. I did some digging into this, and I discovered that along with getting rid of all that waste, your lymph vessels dump cholesterol out of your body too. If they're not working right, then those fatty deposits build up and narrow your lymph vessels. If you think about it, that makes sense, because this is just what happens with your blood vessels. So why should your lymph system be any different? Fat is fat, wherever it ends up. Kelp, on the other hand, contains a substance called fucoxanthin. There's some early research that shows fucoxanthin can help reduce levels of cholesterol, which means it could be helpful in breaking up those plaques and getting them out of your body. So when it comes to edema, it's a real double hitter. You definitely want to make sure you include it on your next shopping list. Next up is one of my most surprising edema busters. It's so powerful, the Pilgrims even took it with them on the Mayflower. It's called Taraxacum officinale, but you may recognize it by its common name, dandelion. And even though most homeowners spend their time trying to get rid of them, new research proves our ancestors were right all along. When it comes to your edema, dandelion packs a powerful punch. It turns out dandelion contains two natural compounds called taraxacin and taraxacarin. Both of these give your kidneys a push, so you pee more and pee often. And although most conventional diuretics lower your potassium levels, dandelion actually raises them. That's because the leaves contain a surprisingly high amount of potassium, which means it actually helps protect the health of your kidneys and your heart. In fact, it works so well, it's actually listed as a non-prescription medicine in Germany. Okay, so now you know my top edema busters. Every one of these can help you ease pain, reduce inflammation, and flush your lymph vessels of that nasty wastewater. But the real power of these wonderful substances happens when they're combined together. That's because while each one of them is powerful all on its own, together they make up a medley of superfoods that are absolutely astonishing. Look, there's no reason why you have to hobble along on bloated legs or swollen feet, especially when there's an all-natural proven solution that could help you get back on your feet again. Just imagine how different things could be. You could go for a lazy afternoon walk with your spouse, spend a day out shopping with your friends, or visit the park with your grandchildren. And instead of hiding your edema behind baggy pants and ugly shoes, you could finally wear all your favorite clothes again. There's no doubt about it. Once you feel like yourself again, everything could change. No more relying on your family and friends to help you do the simplest things. Instead, you'd be happier, healthier, more independent. And you'd finally be able to live the life you deserve. Look, I know these edema busters can make a huge difference in your life. My colleagues and I have been recommending them for years now, and we've seen hundreds of people have life-changing results. However, it's not always easy. First of all, many foods are nutrient poor. That's because large corporations are planting and harvesting crops in ways that help them grow more, but are bad for the soil. This prevents plants from absorbing nutrients from the soil. At the same time, oil spills and raw sewage can make it hard to harvest good quality kelp and dandelion. Even if you manage to find all the foods you need, you still need to eat it all. And the sheer amount you'd have to eat every day could be overwhelming. That's why I decided to take matters into my own hands. I got together with the experts at Pure Health Research, and together we created a fast, effective solution guaranteed to give you long-lasting relief from your edema. It's called Lymph System Support, and it's the only supplement specifically designed to tackle the root cause of your edema, your lymph vessels. Every single ingredient is scientifically proven to help your body unclog your lymph vessels and flush the wastewater out of your system. If you want to decrease water retention, reduce edema, relieve pain, ease heaviness, decrease inflammatory activity, and feel stronger with more energy than you've had in years, then lymph system support is the best way to do that. But even though lymph system support works like gangbusters, we decided to make it even more powerful with these herbs. First up is echinacea. This pretty purple flower was first discovered by the Plains Indians, who used it to treat everything from colds to rattlesnake bites. Since then, it's become so popular, it's a staple in nearly every healer's cabinet. In fact, before the discovery of antibiotics, it was the go-to treatment for doctors. And though you may think of it as a natural remedy for a cold or a flu, it's full of potent compounds that boost your immune system and fight infection. That's a lifesaver, because a weak immune system can up your risk of getting cellulitis, a type of infection that can turn deadly. You know, so many of my patients spend hours worrying about every blister, wart, or pimple that pops up on their legs. But thanks to echinacea, you'll finally be able to rest easy again. Next up is burdock root. It looks a lot like a weirdly shaped carrot, but don't be fooled by its looks, because once you hear how well this simple little veggie works, you'll wonder how you managed without it. It turns out burdock is a potent blood purifier. That's important because when your lymph vessels don't work, all the toxins and waste matter build up in your body. Burdock root helps flush toxins right out of your body, so you feel stronger and full of energy again. One thing's for sure, when it comes to tackling your edema, every one of these ingredients is a winner. That means before you know it, you could start feeling better than you have in years. No more worrying if your legs will get even worse, no more alligator skin, and no more funky smells. You don't have to put your life on hold, waiting for things to get better, being stuck inside, exhausted and embarrassed. Instead, you could finally do what you want to do. You could take up a new hobby, visit your old school friends, or just spend a lazy day at the beach. Because once your lymphatic system is up and running again, everything changes. You could be happier, healthier, and have more energy. And you could have more confidence and fun than you've had in years. When you get right down to it, lymph system support could be the simplest, most effective way to fight your edema and get back to living again. There's no reason for you to suffer anymore, especially when you've got a powerful science-backed option like lymph system support. And it gets even better. When I first thought about how much we should charge for this new formulation, my colleagues said we should ask around $100. They said after adding in the cost of the high-quality ingredients and making sure they're responsibly sourced, we'd be fools to charge less. They told me anyone who was serious about fighting their edema would snatch it up and see an incredible difference in their health. But after seeing how hard it is for so many people, we just couldn't bring ourselves to do it. So I went back to the folks over at Pure Health Research, and they offered to bring the price down to just $69 a bottle. When you consider what a difference it could make to your health, it's a real bargain. After all, if you could improve your edema by just 50%, wouldn't it be worth it? Now that's a fair price. But after thinking about it some more, I decided it still wasn't low enough. I know times are hard. Some people are living on a fixed income. Others are helping loved ones who've lost their jobs. And some of you are having a hard time making ends meet, no matter how hard you work. I don't want to be the person who stands between you and a whole new life. That's why I went back one more time to the team at Pure Health Research and got them to lower the price one last time. And as a special gift for watching this until the very end, they'd like to give you a special deal. If you order right now, you can secure your supply of lymph system support for just $49 a bottle. That's only $1.63 a day, or less than what it costs to buy a candy bar. At a whopping 50% of the original price, it's a real deal. But like I said, it's only because you watched this video until the very end. So go ahead and click the button below. Oh, there's just one thing. I strongly recommend you get more than one bottle of lymph system support. You see, the research team searches the world over to bring you the highest quality, most potent ingredients they can. and they test every ingredient before it leaves their labs to ensure it's the best it can be. But with all the shortages right now, I can't guarantee they'll always have some in stock. Imagine finally seeing the swelling go down, walking around again, and doing all the things you love. You head back to the page you bookmarked, only to see a big red out of stock banner. It could be weeks or even months until they're back in stock again, which means you could end up stuck with tree trunk legs all over again, just because you ran out of lymph system support. That's why it makes sense to stock up on at least a 3-month supply. Plus, the more you buy, the bigger the discount you can get. So you could end up paying just $42 a bottle, which is a real steal. The best way to make sure you have enough lymph system support is to click on the button below. Once you do that, you'll go straight to a secure order page. It uses the same encryption technology as the military, so your personal details are perfectly safe. Choose how many bottles you'd like and put in your personal details. As soon as you click enter, your supply of lymph system support will be on its way. The folks at Pure Health Research will ship it out in about 24 hours. No need to worry, you'll get an email as soon as it's shipped. Oh, and be sure to tell your family it's on the way. I know once it hits your doorstep, you'll want to try it out right away, but they want you to be completely comfortable buying lymph system support. That's why they want to offer you their down to the last capsule guarantee. You should feel 100% confident that lymph system support can help you fight edema and revitalize your health. That's why we'd like to give you a full 365 days to see if it's right for you. That's right, you get a full year to try it out and see how much better you feel. I guarantee you'll see a significant difference in your edema and experience a noticeable change in your health. If for any reason you're not thrilled with your results, all you have to do is send them an email, and they'll refund every penny, no hassle whatsoever. It's that simple. You have nothing to lose by trying out lymph system support, except the edema that's stopping you from living the life you deserve. Plus, if you order now, you'll get 2 free bonus books that'll help you improve your health even more. The first one is called 10 Simple Steps to Lowering Your Cholesterol in 4 Weeks Without a Prescription. If you're struggling with edema, there's a good chance your cholesterol levels aren't what they should be. In this report, you'll discover 10 fast, effective ways to lower your cholesterol naturally. For example, you'll find a laughably simple way to lower your bad cholesterol levels by as much as 15%. You can do this easy trick right in your home. Plus, it might even help you burn belly fat. And how about a delicious breakfast that can help you lower your cholesterol and balance your blood sugar? All in all, if you're looking for a natural way to balance your cholesterol levels without the hassle, then you'll want to read this bonus book. But we're just getting started, because the second bonus book is even more important. It's called How to Spot Hidden Health Problems. And in it, you'll discover 7 weird signs that could mean you have a serious health problem. For example, did you know ridges on your nails could be a sign of a common but concerning vitamin deficiency? And would you believe a crease on one part of your body means it could be a sign your arteries are blocked? I'll show you exactly what these are and what to do right inside your free bonus book. Both of these special health bonus books sell for $39.95 each. But when you order now, I'll include them for free. They're yours to keep whatever you decide. But remember, this special 50% discount is only for those who've watched this video until the end. Once you leave this page, it'll be gone forever. Look, you don't have to wake up to another day of the same old, same old. The heaviness and the constant ache, the skin that's so tight and discolored it doesn't even look human anymore. You don't have to keep hiding the pain because your family doesn't understand how bad things are. You can get out of this. You have a choice. But let me tell you, in my experience, edema doesn't go away on its own. In fact, it usually gets even worse. And in severe cases, the only solution mainstream medicine has is to cut away the bloated part of your leg. But things don't have to get that bad. You can give yourself permission to live the life you deserve. Click the button below to try out lymph system support now. And remember, this special offer is only available while this video is open, or until supplies run out. Don't forget, you'll also receive our down to the last capsule guarantee, which means you have 365 days to try out lymph system support. If you're not thrilled with your purchase for any reason, we'll return your money right away. Still here? I'm guessing that's because you still have some questions about lymph system support. No problem. I'm happy to answer some of the most common questions we hear. How is lymph system support different from other supplements? Most supplements that claim to help with your edema don't actually address your clogged lymph system. Instead, they focus on enhancing circulation in your blood vessels. While it's always a great idea to have good blood circulation, as you've seen already, that won't help unclog your lymph vessels. Second, we've chosen the most powerful ingredients out there to help your body unclog your lymph system and flush out the toxins, waste, and dead cells. This is based on years of research into the Goldilocks effect and the lymphatic system. My team and I spent months investigating every single ingredient, making sure there's a scientific basis for every single one. The biggest difference is that lymph system support addresses edema on all 4 fronts. First, it helps your body unclog your lymph vessels. Second, lymph system support supports your body's ability to flush out toxins, dead cells, and waste water from your body. Third, it helps you maintain a healthy electrolyte balance, especially if your body has lost electrolytes due to edema or water pills. And fourth, it helps maintain a strong immune system, helping your body stay resilient when facing everyday challenges like stress or exposure to germs. What ingredients are inside lymph system support? Lymph system support contains 100% high-quality ingredients. If you'd like to see the full list of ingredients, just click the button below. Scroll down, and you'll see the ingredients, along with the dosage. We're extraordinarily careful about where our ingredients come from. We search the world over to find the highest quality, most responsibly sourced herbs. And every single raw ingredient must have a certificate of analysis for potency and purity to prove it. But that's not all. If you're not careful, the manufacturing process can destroy the active ingredients that make herbs work. So we run special tests during the manufacturing process to make sure every product is pure and potent before it reaches your hands. Plus, they don't use any antibiotics, artificial sweeteners, colors, or preservatives. More importantly, however, I've made a pledge never to support a product I wouldn't give to my family or friends. That means every ingredient has to get my approval before I endorse any product. Who can use lymph system support? Lymph system support is for men and women who want long-lasting relief from the pain and swelling of edema. Your lymph vessels flush dead cells, waste, and toxins out of your body. However, high cholesterol, fat, and other factors can clog your lymph vessels, preventing all of that wastewater from being expelled from your body. When that happens, the fluid builds up, causing pain, edema, and inflammation. Lymph system support promotes the body's ability to unclog your lymph vessels and flush everything right out of your body. And since many types of water pills lower your electrolyte levels, we've included ingredients that can help restore your electrolyte levels too. However, as a doctor, I know there's no supplement that works for everyone. There is usually a small percentage of people who may be allergic or who may not be able to tolerate one of the ingredients. If you're concerned, I recommend you consult your doctor before starting any new dietary supplement. Is lymph system support safe? Lymph system support is a natural supplement that helps address edema. With the right nutritional combinations, I believe taking our product will help you see fantastic results. If you do happen to notice anything unusual, please discontinue use and consult your physician immediately. How do I use lymph system support? The experts at Pure Health Research recommend you take 2 capsules 20 to 30 minutes before a meal with 1 cup of water. Should I use lymph system support long term? Definitely. Your lymph vessels work hard every day, filtering harmful substances from your entire body. They never take a day off. That's why you'll want to make sure your lymph vessels have the nutrients they need to stay healthy and clog-free. Just 2 capsules of lymph system support a day. Give your body what it needs to keep those lymph vessels open, flush toxins out of your system, and support healthy inflammatory levels. They also ensure your body always has enough electrolytes, which are critical for a healthy heart. So that about covers things. I'm thrilled you're finally going to have the opportunity to try out lymph system support. So click the button below to try it out. And don't forget to let us know how much better you feel.